Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelly gentleman. Welcome back to my channel guys. I hope that you are all having a great day. In today's video I'm going to show you an interesting fragrance from the house of Ard Al Zaafaran called Waffa. As usual, I'm going to show you the packaging of this fragrance. I'm going to tell you about the scent profile of this one, at least what my nose picks up. I'm going to tell you how it performs, how much I paid for it, and then at the end of the video I'm going to tell you my honest opinion on whether Waffa is actually worth checking out. As usual, let's start by taking a look at the presentation and the box of the Waffa, and you can see that the box of this fragrance is absolutely huge. This logo looks like a logo from a Western movie to me. Then you slide this bottom part of the box out, and the actual bottle sits inside like this. It's quite a pain to actually take it out, quite a snug fit. And then this is how the bottle looks. As you can see, it has exactly the same accents. It's a black bottle with golden accents. The cap is metal, it's very heavy, it's a snug fit, and on the front here, where you have Waffa and Eau de Parfum, there's also this sticker that's sort of like a fake leather. All in all, this is one of the most luxurious and over-the-top presentations that I've ever come across. Before I talk about the scent profile of Waffa, if you enjoy my content and my videos, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. It helps with the growth of my channel, it helps with the YouTube algorithm, and also motivates me to bring more useful content for you guys. Okay, now let's talk about the scent of Waffa. The note breakdown that I was able to find online has the following notes. The top notes are frankincense and plum, the middle notes are iris, rose and vanilla, and the base notes are patchouli, Peru balsam and vetiver. I'll show you the sprayer in action and then I'll tell you what I pick up from this fragrance. The sprayer is very decent and does a good job. Now, immediately after spraying Waffa, what I get is a note that's not listed anywhere, and that's a alcohol note, but not a perfumer's alcohol, but more like a real boozy note out of this fragrance. It's really strong in the opening, sort of like a rum note. I'm not too sure the type of alcohol, but there's definitely a boozy note. I also pick up some spices in the opening. I pick up a touch of that rose, a touch of synthetic oud as well in the opening, and also quite a sort of a strong green vibe out of this fragrance. The opening can be a bit challenging because of the strong boozy note and because of that strong green note also that you get. It's not for everybody, definitely. Now, that opening lasts for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then this fragrance starts to go into its mid and deep dry downs. And what happens then is the fact that the boozy note starts to fade away a little bit. That green note also starts to fade away a little bit. You're left with that touch of rose and touch of oud throughout the life of this fragrance, but what happens on the dry down is that this becomes a lot sweeter. The vanilla note starts to play a lot bigger role, like a big role in the dry down of this fragrance. There's also a sort of like a chocolatey vibe. At least I get a chocolatey vibe out of Waffa, maybe a touch of a caramel or something like that in the dry down. It becomes a really sort of a sweet fragrance on the dry down. And now to address a few of the sort of comparisons that this fragrance has drawn in the community. Some people will mislead you to believe that this is a clone of Kilian's Black Phantom. Now, definitely it's done in a similar style, and on the dry down, because of the sweet chocolatey vibe that you get out of Waffa, it gets somewhat close to Black Phantom, but this is definitely not a clone of Black Phantom. A lot of people have compared this to Carlisle, but again, I don't think this is that close to Carlisle. Maybe again done in a similar style, but definitely not a clone of Carlisle. When it comes to the performance of Waffa, this is a fragrance with a very decent performance. I get about 8 hours out of Waffa, longevity on skin, with pretty strong projection in the first about hour to hour and a half. So performance wise, I have absolutely no complaints about Waffa. When it comes to the price tag of Waffa, this is one of the more expensive Ard Al Zaafaran fragrances. Usually their fragrances are dirty cheap and cost around about the $20 to $25 mark, but Waffa can be found online for prices somewhere between $35 to $40. I personally picked this one up for $35, so It's a little bit more expensive, but then again you get a very lavish presentation, luxurious looking presentation, high quality bottle, and interesting scent profile to go along with a nice performance as well. When it comes to versatility, Waffa is definitely a fragrance that's orientated towards the colder months of the year, fall, winter, and early spring. Definitely more orientated towards nighttime usage compared to daytime usage. And as I said, this is marketed as a unisex fragrance, but especially the opening leans a little bit towards the masculine side. On the dry down, this is definitely a unisex fragrance. All in all, it's not super versatile, and also I think this is a fragrance that's a little bit dressed up. You need to be at least a little bit dressed up in order to wear Waffa. And on to my final thoughts on Ard Al Zaafaran's Waffa. Now, this is a very interesting and unique fragrance that has a pretty strong Middle Eastern vibe to it, especially in the opening. That opening can be a bit challenging for a lot of people out there, me including. But once that a few minutes pass in the opening of this fragrance, this becomes a lot more enjoyable, it becomes a lot sweeter, and a lot more sort of a mass-pleasing type of scent. Just keeping that in mind, that in order to like Waffa, you need to have a liking to the Middle Eastern style of fragrances. But if you do, then Waffa is definitely an interesting, dark and mysterious type of scent. It's not a clone of any fragrance out there, but definitely done in a similar style to Kilian's Black Phantom, and somewhat close to Carlisle from Parfum de Marlis as well. All in all, Waffa gets a like from me. It's not a huge like, it's not a love because of the opening, but I can appreciate the scent profile of this, and especially the whole presentation. So guys, in today's video I showed you a fragrance from the house of Ard Al Zaafaran called Waffa. A very interesting fragrance done in a Middle Eastern style of perfumery. I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.